Hi, everyone. Well, thank you for joining today. I have to say, I'm very humbled to be here and honored to speak with you today about what's in it for me, okay? So, 3 steps to uncover your target customers. My name is Aimée Lopez, and I'm a retail copywriter and strategist. Um, the first question I want to ask everyone in the audience. You could just raise your hands, okay? And if you don't feel comfortable, don't worry about it, all right? But I just want to see if anybody knows where 65% of your annual revenue will come from or is coming from. Okay, so if you do know that answer, if you could please raise your hand. Okay, cool. So we'll talk about this, okay? We'll get into this. All right. I'm like, where do I write this thing? Sorry. It's going to be your repeat customers, okay? 65% of your annual revenue will come from your repeat customers, okay? So just to keep that information in the back of your head because it's really super important, okay? The thing is that the reason why we're going to have this discussion, the reason why finding who your target customers are is the fact that you want them to become, obviously, your repeat customers and make 65% of your annual revenue. So just to give you a little bit of an agenda, so you're not like, why am I here? What's going on? What's in it for me here? So the masterclass is going to be approximately 20 minutes, and then I will take questions off stage so people can move on with their lives. They don't have to sit around and listen to people's questions if they don't want to. But I'm happy to have that discussion. A little bit about myself. And also, let's get into the nitty-gritty here, okay? So why are target customers, or what does that mean? Because it can be a generic term, I'm sure. And then we'll go into the action steps here that I have mapped out. Finding your target customer, I just want to let everyone know, it can be a very big topic. I mean, this is like university courses, okay? There's a lot of rabbit holes. There's a lot of questions that can go into this. But the thing is that through my experience as a retail copywriter and strategist, I have tried to grind it down to the most basic form that are actionable, okay? Because I want you to be able to have a robust business strategy going forward, okay? So these are going to be the 3 action steps. And again, if you have any questions at the end, I'm happy to answer anybody's questions. Okay, so a little bit about me. Why am I here? Why am I in front of everybody? So my name is Aimée Lopez. I'm a retail copywriter and strategist. You're probably like, okay, cool, that sounds great. Fancy name, fancy terminologies. But just to let you know, I use persuasive techniques from consumer behavioral psychology to sell products through the power of words. I don't just sit down and write some pretty stuff. I'm just make it look cute. Like some people have told me, oh, can you just make this kind of sexy? I can do that, but also I'm going to sell it because I'm going to find some persuasive loopholes and things that people haven't considered, okay? Because you see, as we're talking about 65% of your retail, your annual budget, where's it coming from? Some people still don't know about that. So, and don't worry, big companies, I'm sure, don't even know about that either. I also, just to let you know, I have 26 years of retail experience on the floor, in the field, okay? I started when I was 14. I got good genes, I gotta say. I have a background in film production, blah, 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 but that goes into storytelling, and that's the thing. We're weaving stories for people. We need to be emotive, okay, in our language, in the way we present our products, okay? The consumer buying has shifted, okay? They want something more. They want to be part of a community. I started my copywriting business here in the UK, in the vintage clothing industry. And as you can tell, I'm originally from New York City. I'm very straightforward, but now I'm based here in London. So I want to tell you a little story here to go along with this and just to kind of set up what we're going to be talking about today. I was recently on a call with a potential client. He's interested in starting a cosmetics business in the German-speaking regions to do a product market fit. He's trying to make sure before he does a global expansion, right? Great, fabulous. So if you work with any creative, which is a copywriter, graphic designer, web developer, any creative, one of the first questions they're going to ask you is, who is your target audience? Who is your target customer, okay? They should be asking you this question because we need to tailor it. We need to focus it. You've probably heard the term You speak to all, but you're really speaking to no one, okay? And this is really, really important now, okay? So the next slide, I'll get into in the next slide. You'll see where I'm coming from. So I was like, so who's your target audience? Who are we talking to here? Cosmetics business in the German-speaking regions, right? He doesn't know that I've actually spent some time in those regions. He's like, okay, females from 25 to 38 who are looking for a holistic approach to the cosmetics and beauty industry and the experience that comes with. That is solid goal. That's fantastic. That is a good answer. I'm not saying anything, but it got me thinking, though. It got me thinking, okay, because I said things have really shifted since the pandemic. Okay, so this is a photo. You can be like, okay, what's going on? This is a photo of the Queer Eye Germany cast here. This is the current cast. And again, because I spent some time in the German-speaking regions, the thing is that two of the cast members here are non-binary and gender fluid. This is a microcosm of current German society. They purposely put this group together to show what is coming, from the German-speaking regions. So I asked this gentleman, I was like, that's beautiful, that's great. But a lot of, as you know, who are working in beauty or in cosmetics, everybody's looking at 25 to 35-year-old women, you know what I mean? Which is, again, it's not a problem, but it's just something, I was like, what about non-binary people? What about gender fluid people? What about trans folks? These are three different groups of people that you're not going to be selling to, okay? You just need to be very open and honest about that, okay? It's something to think about. So going back to the importance, the reason why we're even having this conversation, right? Of knowing who your target customers are is to even know where to start. I talk to a lot of newer entrepreneurs, and they're like, I don't even know who my target customers are. I developed my product, I developed my service because it was a niche or something that was missing in my life, so I wanted to address that. Fantastic. But the thing is that we have to know who our target is to be able to formulate what the beginning, what the foundation of our business is, to then create a robust business strategy, okay? If we understand and if we develop understanding and trust of who our target customers are, we create those very important repeat purchases. Who doesn't like a repeat purchase? Then they go into the cycle, become a repeat customer, okay? 65% of your annual revenue. Okay, we're all spread thin. We're all spread thin financially. We're all spread thin time-wise. So you know where to put your budget and efforts in the right place, okay? Are your people, your target audience, are they digital-first buyers? Are they more comfortable in a brick-and-mortar situation? Are they TikTok fanatics? Are they Instagram, excuse me, I'm sorry, I should maybe get a little sip of water, but are they diehard Instagram people? The thing is that we get a lot of questions as well in marketing. Well, where should I put my efforts? And I always tell them, well, that's the easy answer. Where are your target customers? Where are they? You don't have to do everything, guys. You don't have to do everything. You focus on what they're interested in. Create and develop products to actually sell, okay? Because you're not gonna just pull things out of thin air. You're gonna actually create and develop products that are gonna add value to their lives because you know your target customer. And I know, this is a little bit cliche, but we're creative problem solvers, no matter what. Everybody who's sitting here, we're a creative problem solver. People are coming to us to solve a problem. It could be a psychological problem. It could be like they want to look cute. I don't know. But we're solving something for them, okay? So then, hopefully I'm good with time. Hopefully the ladies will let me know if I'm good with time. But this is a photo of the massive queues out of Supreme here in London. This was done in 2017. There are scores and scores and scores of young people that stand for what they do is product drops, okay? And they do limited quantities in these product drops, excuse me. Supreme is a streetwear, skatewear brand. So the thing is that because they know their target customer, they have facilitated their buying habits as product drops, because they know they're going to create a frenzy. And once people see these cues, it's impressive, and they constantly have them, then people are going to be like, okay, well, that's marketing right there. You don't see them, advertising everywhere. You know what I mean? And also, to just to let you know, a lot of the folks in here are young people of color who are buying to resell on the resale market, okay? That's something to think about, okay? It's capitalism at work here, guys, okay? This is a great thing. But they know, Supreme knows this, and they're utilizing it, they're playing with it, okay? This is on like a bigger scale, but these are just ways of thinking about things. Okay, so this is something that I've developed. It's a I'm losing my words. It's something that I've developed. So basically, action step 1, I want you all, this is the first thing, y'all, is to think of 3 brands, 3 questions, and that's what I'm calling it, okay? So, and I'm gonna explain why, because you're like, okay, whatever. So choose 3 brands that you really, really admire, okay? The reason why I say that is because if you go and do surveys and do statistics, and do all these things, people are not gonna tell you the truth. They're gonna tell you what you wanna hear, okay? So the thing is that if you look, you're gonna want to naturally emulate. I mean, these brands, the 3 brands, we can pick like 10, 100 brands, whatever. But I'm putting it to 3 because also psychologically, people understand things better in 3s, okay? So then if you look at the 3 brands that you admire, you're gonna want to naturally emulate them anyways. You're gonna wanna utilize some of the techniques and things anyways. So first of all, just choose 3 brands that you really, really admire, as I mentioned again. And Guy Kawasaki says as well, if you ask people, they'll tell you what they want, they won't tell you what they need, okay? And that's important. Okay, ask yourself about, when you look at these 3 things here, once you get to the 3 brands, you think about the buying motivation. So what makes them buy them? Why do they go to that particular brand? What's so special about them? Like my friend Tony, my dear friend, he's right here. He says, I shop at Waitrose and M&M's because the staff look happy. I'm happy to spend money there, okay? Let's think about it, let's talk about it. It's just things to think about, start musing, okay? This is gonna formulate who your target customers are. What are their pain points? Okay, why are they going to M&S? Why are they going to Waitrose? Why are they going to John Lewis? Why are they going to a particular brand? Why are they going to Supreme? Why? Okay? Also, too, the thing is that the purchasing hesitation. So there's what could potentially happen? What could turn a customer away from these brands, okay? Because this is the loophole in which you're gonna wanna jump through, okay? Because I was doing research on a jewelry company recently, and they did these, 2,000-pound beautiful diamond-studded ear cuffs. They were glorious. It was for a research project I was doing for a client. I was like, this is amazing. I was talking to the sales clerk. I was like, oh my God, this is gorgeous. I was like, cool. Everybody has different, kind of ear shapes. Are these adjustable, these 2,000-pound ear cuffs? Oh, no. Okay, let's start thinking about that, everybody, okay? I would be pretty upset if I got it as a gift, a 2,000-pound diamond-studded ear cuff I can't wear. Okay, excuse me, I'm just gonna take a sip of water. And I'm from New York, so I talk really fast, so I apologize. Okay, so the action step 2 is go on Safari, which is actually retail industry jargon. This is industry jargon, okay, I'm telling you. I didn't just pull this out. I didn't just pull this out of thin air. So what we do is, I'm saying to go out into the field. So once you have the data from the first information, you first formulate your research. You think about those 3 brands you really admire, why you want to emulate them, and those 3 points that I was mentioning, the buying, motivation, the pain point, and the hesitations, okay? Take that information, go out into the field, go into the shop, okay? I know again, as I mentioned, I totally get it. Everybody's very time crunched. Finances are very, we gotta be very, sorry. I should take another sip. We have to be very focused on our finances and, put it in the right places. But the thing is that, you're not gonna really know. You're not gonna really, I can look online and I can guess. I can make assumptions, but that's not really what your target customer wants. They're not a statistic. Okay, so you actually got to physically go into the shop. And the thing is that, as I mentioned, surveys are not going to help you. People are going to just tell you what they want. But if you go in and you talk to a sales clerk, yeah, okay? Sales clerks, okay? You ask them questions, and they will tell you. They'll tell you. They'll just be really open with you, and you'll find so much intel. Like I told you about those beautiful 2,000-pound diamond ear cuffs and suffrages. I was freaking out, but they're not adjustable. Okay, so, that's something, it's a little bit of a problem there sometimes, depending on the person, right? Also, just to give you a little information, I'm from the vintage, as I mentioned, the vintage industry. I started my career in the vintage industry. And I just want to let you know where I was working. It was here in London, where I was working when I started selling for other folks. They were like, we cannot keep size 28 tailored blazers anywhere. Like, they just roll off the racks. I mean, we can't even keep them. They would actually, all these stall holders would actually put out size 28 tailored blazers in the front of their stalls, specifically, a rail that, even if it didn't go with their aesthetic, it was not even something that they even kind of thought was something that would be of interest to them or normally their target customers, because these young, fabulous Chinese female students were coming in and ripping them apart. I mean, once you put one on, and if it was something that they really loving, they'll pay, and they'll pay whatever they wanted. They'll just be like, yeah, I'll pay that, it's fine, whatever. And that's where most of our revenue was coming from. But would you have thought about that? Would you have thought that? Unless you actually went into the field and actually sat down and talked to the sales clerks, actually looked around. What's going on? What's happening here? Okay, so a really quick example. I'm going to try to make this really quick. So basically, during the recession of the early 90s, obviously a lot of industries were hard hit during the early 90s. There was a big recession as well, right? So the thing is that nobody's buying surf gear. I mean, who's buying surf clothes? Who's buying surfboards? Who's going surfing in the middle of a recession? You know what I mean? So the top brands were like, okay, whoa, we need to revisit our marketing strategy. We need to figure out our business strategy. We need to look at things here. So they went to Hawaii, which in the Americas are, kind of the hub, is the birthplace of surf. So they went to different surf shops, and they said, just to a few, they said, hey, how's everything? How's business? Talk to us. What's happening here? And they were like, oh, well, size 28 board shorts, boy shirts, we can't even keep them in stock. We keep ordering them. So why I'm bringing this up is the thing is that because from being in the industry, what we would do is normally we would sit on a computer and look at the statistics and be like, fabulous. Let's manufacture more size 28 boys board shorts and just get them into stock. Come on. They're selling like hotcakes. Get them in the stores. Okay? But somebody was smart. Hopefully they're getting some royalties from this. Okay? Somebody was like, you know what? Going along with what I said, go into the shops. Go in, talk to people. Somebody was smart enough to go to the beaches, sit down, shut up, open their ears, and start talking to people. Why? Well, why are this so specific, size 28 boy shirts? Young ladies were buying them because they didn't have their own brand that was focusing on them. They weren't focusing on the sport for them. There wasn't even clothing available for them when they were going out surfing. Okay, so Quicksilver said, oh, that's interesting. Let's start Roxy, right? This is the Quicksilver brand upside down with two hands holding it as a heart, okay? Roxy right now is still on. Roxy's estimated annual, let's read this, okay? Roxy's estimated annual revenue is currently $48.9 million per year. They've been open since the 90s in a recession. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that money. Okay, that's something to think about. Somebody sat down, was smart enough to talk to people, go out in the field. Sorry, I kind of went that little far. Okay, so action step 3, you take the first two steps. Hopefully I'm in time. Let me know, okay? Because I'm like, so you take the first 2 pieces of information, the research, and actually going out into the field. And then action step 3, again, this is something that I've developed. MVP, which is your minimal, if you're in business and business economics law, minimal viable product. So basically it's your signature product. It's just like a basic product that you just want to, stamp out. It's what you want to be known for. You want your name associated with. Okay, but the thing is, it's going to be in minimal form. It doesn't have to be fancy. I think the thing is that I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs. They're like, it has to be perfect. It has to be amazing. It has to be like, okay, cool. That's cool. But the thing is that you need to listen to your customers. They're going to shape the product for you, okay? And then to become, because again, I'm American, to be MVP, the most valuable player. So what brought about this idea and these concepts to me originally was the seminal book by Malcolm Gladwell, The Tipping Point. He says little changes, and the book is about how epidemics start. I really recommend anybody who's really interested in learning how people, catch on to ideas and just run with it. Little changes could somehow make big effects. And I don't know why the slide got funky like that, but the slide got funky, I'm sorry. So this is Apple Computer, obvious example, right? So they started their product line really, really in 1984. I mean, to the public. I mean, they had other stuff, but to the public, they started with this one computer, right? It was the Macintosh 125K RAM. I have PDFs bigger than that now. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But look at how beautiful, and also too, this interface, I'm old enough to remember, that interface was like, wow. Because the thing is that they knew their target customers, and it wasn't this age-old kind of boring, like husband, wife, 2 kids, a dog, okay? That's not applicable anymore, okay? It's not applicable. We need to change that, we need to shift that. So they were thinking about disruptors. They were thinking about creatives who had stationary homes, because they can't move around with this big bulky thing, who could afford, at the time, was a 2,500 computer, okay? So people, and their tagline was think different, right? So now this is the Apple product line for this year, right? And if you notice, I just want to point out, they do not make or sell printers because it doesn't fit their target customer. I mean, they can do all these other things, but it doesn't make sense for them, right? So this is Guy Kawasaki. He is a genius. And what he says here is very important. So to take the 2 pieces of information, as I mentioned, and revise fast once you've shipped out your product and readjust according to what your customers care about, your target customers, they will tell you. They will tell you it's okay. Just start out with your signature product. They will tell you. I mean, some people will tell some. But the thing is that, once a couple people tell you, you got to start listening, right? Do it fast and keep them through the feedback loop, okay? He was the former chief evangelist of Apple. He was one of the people, the marketing team for that 1984 Macintosh, okay? And he has 15 books on startups and marketing, so this guy knows what's up. We're almost done with the presentation. I just want to point out these 2 lovely ladies. They're sisters. This is Kemi and Laura. They own the brand The Cornrow here in the UK. And they couldn't find home interior items that fit within their culture and their identity, okay? So what most entrepreneurs do, which is fabulous capitalism, again, love it, they decided to start their own brand, okay? And they started their own website. Okay, these lovely ladies, and their tagline is it's like the modern black, the home of the modern black aesthetic, which is absolutely fantastic. So the thing is that the point is that they've listened to they really know their target customers now. They listen to them. Now they're opening up a full range on the websites to a fuller range of items for the home that fit within that modern black aesthetic. And they're doing fabulous. They did a recent exhibition at the Museum of the Home. I saw them at Soho House's home in Chelsea talking. I mean, their trajectory is going up, 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 and up. And I just want to leave you with this. Change how you see and see how you change. It's a Zen proverb. So just want to kind of give that to you. That's the last thing. This is the last slide. Just to give you some food for thought. Is how you can connect with me if you have any questions, or if you think I'm crazy or whatever, or you want to see what this copywriting is all about or whatever. So this is where you can find out about me. Also, too, you can scan this with your photo app on your mobile and go straight to my website. If you have any questions, again, I'm going to be talking on the side here. Happy to take anybody's questions if you want to talk about anything. But that's the presentation. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. I hope that was interesting. I hope you got something out of that. Thank you.